Wife School. 7 expectations your wife has that ruin the holidays. Every single time we watch one of her videos, she's throwing women and herself under the bus.
We get very stressed, very overwhelmed. We're sped up, running around like crazy people.
All women are like this? Speak for yourself.
And our husbands get the worst aspects of us. And what happens is we don't recognize that we're creating this for ourselves. So we go into that place of being a martyr. We go into that place of being a victim. And like always, we blame our husbands.
Like always, we blame our... Are you projecting? Do you do this? Huh? I mean, are you running around all, like, anxious and stuff because you're not getting any help and you need it? Or what?
How we think they're not there to support us and to help us and share the burden.
Okay, so, yeah. Are they sharing the burden with you of life?
When the truth is, how we act in our crazy making around the holidays is that we make it incredibly stressful for our husbands. We push them away with our very low emotional intelligence during the holidays.
She's saying our, maybe yours? Why is every woman guilty of the thing that you're guilty of? I don't understand. I don't know how that makes everybody else's experience your experience. This sounds like it's upsetting in that I don't think she realizes that other people live experiences different than hers.
And we're no fun to be around. We suck all the fun out of the holidays. So I want to go over now.
She's like Jesse Lee Peterson for
7 expectations that as women we put on ourselves and then we put on others around us during the holidays. And this is going to lead to some...
During the holidays? I assume that means during? Deering? Will nobody think of the poor dude vegging on the couch while his terrible wife spends the day cooking and cleaning and having the gall to not whistle while she works and demands recognition for her feminine duties? Anyway, I'm the cook around these parts.
Meaningful conversation about the reality of the holidays that for most people, this is a challenging time of year. Yeah. It shakes a lot of people up. It pushes us into what I call a forced reflection, that we're often faced with different losses we've had in our lives around the holidays, people that we love that are no longer here and with us.
Yeah. And so because you're Christians, you don't really have like the ability to love and respect those that have died, right? Because you're like, anything unsaid, I'm going to say to them in heaven when I get there, and any of the, how are you gonna appreciate somebody that lives right now if you don't believe that this is it? How are you gonna truly do it? You're not. They always bank on a second go of it, and it's like you don't get one, man. It's selfish.
It pushes us into reflecting on where we're not in our lives that we thought we would be by now.
Listen to yourself. That is so self-imposed and weird. Where do you want to be in your life that you're not? What are you supposed to be? Here's the thing about living. You're not supposed to be anywhere. Just be happy as fucking happy as you can. Your goals for yourself are fine. Expectations other people have for you, fuck them. Who cares? Totally irrelevant. You get to live your life as best you can given the circumstances. So do it.
It stirs up a lot of past family hurt around the holidays. So it's a challenging time.
Family hurt. We're not going to talk to anybody about any of this stuff.
Make it so much harder than it already is for a lot of people. So 7 expectations that we have around the holidays that create this holiday stress and holiday overwhelm. Number 1, that we're supposed to be happy and joyful. That's the first expectation. We're supposed
with joy in the background.
Supposed to be happy and joyful.
So if you're upset, talk to somebody. You got family around now. You got to talk to somebody. You mean supposed to be happy and joyful? You can be however you are.
And that everyone else, we put the expectations on everyone else that they're supposed to be happy and joyful.
Do you? Fucking what? These people live insane lives with so much self-imposed like pressure. That I guess it sounds stressful, sure. I don't think about this at all. I don't ever think about this. You're supposed to be joyful. It's December, huh?
And the truth is, if we slow down, we can maybe see what we're actually feeling and be true to where we're at and not need to put on a forced facade of being happy and joyful. I have found in many years of working with hundreds of women that even though we put on this holiday self and this holiday facade and go into super holiday mode because of what we've made it, because we've made it so overwhelming, many of us don't enjoy the holidays.
Listen to yourself. Because of what we've made it. Your worldview is crazy. Listen to what it makes you think. Listen.
That is not something we look forward to. That we want to speed through, race through, get them over with, so we can take a breath and slow down. And that's how we really feel underneath it. And then we have to wear this facade of being happy and joyful that is exhausting. So the second expectation that we go into with the holidays and supersizing the holidays and getting very stressed is that everyone has to have fun and have a good time.
That's the same thing as number one. That is the same thing. We're the ones who are responsible for like planning and hosting events, buying presents, cooking, taking care of the kids all alone. Almost always, yeah.
Everyone has to have fun and have a good time and be in a good mood and like everything that's happening. And this is where this fantasy of the holidays comes in. That if you spend time around the holidays with your family, an extended family, and big gatherings, the truth is that there's a lot of history there, a lot of history of hurt feelings, of different dynamics between different people. And the truth is, it's very rare that families actually get along.
Wow. I actually get along with my family pretty well, except for my dead ones. The dead ones are all dead, though. Going to a new family Christmas this year, now that we got some dead family members. But you at least try to talk to them. Sometimes you can't get through to the right-wingers, though. They're not likely to hear you out. The fuck is she talking about? So someone said, was it Eric, said she's not the enemy, she's a victim. She's both. She's both of them. This is what happens in right-wing communities. This is what fucking happens. They center their life around false things. And when your life is centered around false things, those things do not deliver for you. The best parts of church are the community around it because you get a lot of assets involved with it, a lot of perks, right? A lot of oh, I got my job because I know somebody at church. A lot of fucking money running around in there. You get very little from like the actual belief in it because it just stresses you out because it's like, oh, I gotta live a certain way, but I can't because I'm a human ape. Like, yeah, it's tough. And then on top of that, she has this like wives and women need to be a certain way thing. And she's like, yeah, this thing we're supposed to be, we just can't do it. It's just not good. So, I mean, like, you should deconstruct your fucking entire worldview, man. Because it's, like, clearly not delivering you happiness. And this is a huge problem.
A lot of families put on the face of getting along. But underneath that, again, there's a lot of hurt. There's a lot of dynamics. There's a lot of expectation. And a lot of families don't.
So a few things about Republicans are generally very happy, okay? Here's something about this. Number one is when we're
my dick is actually so moist.
Thank you so much, Obi-Wan. Listening to her, it sounds like a weekly discussion with a therapist would help her out with most of her, or a lot of her issues. Absolutely. Dublin Marley, maybe you think you're making a point. I don't know. So you're listening to this woman and her delusions. You're listening to her just saying that this doesn't work for me. And she just said out loud, we pretend to be happy. Do you think, hey, are you happy? Do you think this is more or less accurate? By the way, pretty happy, much higher, over half. Not too happy, Democrat. Guess why? Guess why a left-leaning person would be reporting to be less happy in America? I'll give you, preferably I'd only give you one guess. But I think you're seeing an over-reporting of happiness from Republicans on the pretty happy thing. Like, pretty happy, I think for everybody, pretty happy means, like, I don't even know if I'm being honest with you. Like, very happy, I think you're probably wealthy. This isn't the only study. I absolutely know. Yeah, absolutely. I think that these cultural signifiers, just like we're seeing here, with her outward denialism that you're watching in real time, they all generally match. On self-report of happiness, I 100% agree that left-wing people living in America are going to say, I'm less happy than my right-wing neighbor. 1,000,000%, because you guys, you right-wingers, are fucking stupid. And we have to live alongside your government structures, dummy. Of course we're less happy. Of course. Why would a left-wing person be happier here? You run a dumb country. Dublin Marley, if you're willing to come talk, we can. But, man, you don't make any sense.
Won't get along. That's a reality.
And then we see the global happiness index, and America is fucking buried, and all of the socialist states are up high. Does that matter to you? Is Dunning-Kruger happiness? I mean, it's just like fucking, like literally, you don't think fucking climate change is real. Of course, you're living in bliss. You know what I mean? Yeah, strong social safety net, like the Nordic countries, etc. Any place with socialized healthcare, paid family leave, etc., all have higher happiness indexes. Places with socialized living situations, people with low homelessness due to those socialized situations, people with access to food, all through socialism, all high on the happiness index. America isn't even top 50 in like fucking fetal death rate. You know what I mean? Our healthcare system is ass, and it's the most expensive per capita. It's a failed country that needs to do better.
Family. And yet we think that we're supposed...
And when Trump tariffs come in and tank everything and we hit another fucking like depression, we'll be sitting here and watching.
Supposed to just put everything aside and that everybody's going to have a great time and have fun, when oftentimes that's not the case, right? Even when that's the intention and well intended for it to be that, it's often not the case. There can be some pretty hefty family fights and arguments during the holidays. If you watch any holiday movie, we see that. So the third expectation...
I got to speed her up.
That we have around the holidays that sets us up for a lot more stress and overwhelm than is necessary is that everyone is supposed to get along. Number 3, everyone is supposed to get along.
This is the same as 1 and 2.
So this is it ties into the last one. The reality is that no, not everyone gets along.
You didn't need to have 7. You could have truncated these first 3 into 1.
In our families.
Frankly.
And the more that we can actually accept that reality and stop putting the expectation on it that, you know, hopefully dad doesn't make this joke this year, or hopefully mom and dad don't get into this argument this year, or I hope my sister or my brother doesn't do what they always do. And we put these expectations that the people in our family aren't supposed to be who they are on Christmas or around the holidays. And the truth is, they're not ever changing. That's who they are. And when we can accept that reality, that's where we take the pressure and the overwhelm off to know, okay, mom and dad are likely going to get into this fight, or I'm likely, my brother and I are going to butt heads about this.
This sounds resigned to her fucking lifestyle. Holy shit. Just totally resigned to the right-wing lifestyle. Wow, my life sucks. I'm nothing more than a vessel through which a household runs, and I will be doing all the stressful things for the holidays. My right-wing husband will, of course, not be helping. My family is going to be arguing the whole time. Of course, all of them unhappy because they are also in traditional families situations. It's crazy how not tenable for happiness the right-wing ideology continues to be, and yet here you are.
This one thing we always do, and when we can accept that, that's where we can start to eliminate some of our emotional turmoil around the holidays. So there's something I learned a while ago from my mentor that has always stuck with me, that if you imagine this hand is our reality, just the reality of the way things are, and this hand is our expectations. The further away these two things are from each other, the greater our emotional turmoil and our emotional pain.
Reality and your I agree, which is why you should stop being religious and right-wing. Because they don't make you happy people.
So if you're expecting that the reality is your family doesn't get along, and the expectation is everyone needs to get along this year, those two things are far apart, the greater emotional pain and emotional turmoil you are going to be in. But when you can close that gap and be grounded in reality to know, oh no, I don't get along with my brother, I don't get along with my dad, so how can I manage myself to make it the best it can be? The more grounded you are in that reality, the less stress, the less emotional turmoil, because you can deal with things for what they actually are versus hoping and praying that they're somehow going to be different when they haven't been different in 15, 25, 30 years.
Well, yeah, because you can't just pray about it. You got to do about it. You have to talk to these people. You can't just fucking pray and hope.
So that's the third expectation. Everyone is supposed to get along. Number 4, this is a big one. This is why we turn into the holiday monster as women. More is better. That's the 4th expectation. More is better. More time with people. Have the family come for 2 weeks. More time, more food, more booze, more presents, more decorations, more people, more parties, more celebrations. And we need all the things. More is not better. We're going to talk about part of the solution is simplifying. But we start to, I know myself, it's like, well, I've got to make the cookies my mom used to make, and then I've got to make the cake that my grandma used to make, and I've got to make sure that I have this too. And we make it so big, and that's where we stress ourselves out because
the self-imposed little prisons they put themselves in the suburbs is crazy. Like, what is this? I don't understand. The stresses you have in your lives are so cynical, you know, like so. I do not like it. Do you need help in the kitchen then? It sounds really like a lot of the stress that comes from this is her being responsible for coordinating all of these events all the time and not getting delegation within her family to do other stuff about it.
We don't need all those things. The 5th expectation that we have that creates all this overwhelm, recreating childhood experiences. We put this stress and pressure on ourselves around the holidays that we need to recreate our childhood experiences. That's number 5.
Do you? Yeah, I don't think she likes her life or family. I agree. I don't think she does either. What childhood experiences, man? These are like self-imposed. I don't think other people resonate with this.
And that they should be and feel exactly like they did when we were young.
No.
We do that because we're trying to fill an emptiness within ourselves.
Who's we? I do not feel this. What?
That's part of why the holidays are so hard, is that it exposes the emptiness that we have in ourselves that we haven't learned to fill just in who we are. So we grab for external experiences like
because you haven't actualized who you are, because you spend all of it trying to be the person you think that they want you to be, because of the expectations of your fucking gender roles and your fucking religious roles and your fucking household roles. It's crazy. Joy right next to her. Fucking hilarious.
Recreating holiday traditions we had when we were young and feeling like we need to do every single one of them because we're trying to fill that void and emptiness that gets really exposed during the holidays.
Really exposed? Man, something must have fucking happened to you in the holidays. What in the fuck? This does not draw out the anxiety for me the way it does for other people. I'm a very amicable guy, I guess. I'm ready to have a fucking conversation with somebody. I try to have conversations with those shitty family members that I had. My grandfather and his son, my dad. We didn't have good relationships because they were like racist and stuff, and like right wingers, and and frankly not really good family members. And that's really that was what was more important. But it was due to those things that that really happens. But it's just like, be willing to have a conversation then. Just actually talk to these people. Like, if you're having all this anxiety about like your dad and your mom, talk to them about it. Don't yell at them about it. Be like, hey man, this fucking sucks when you guys treat each other bad. Have conservatives ever actually stopped to ask themselves, what do I want to do? No. They don't spend any time on themselves, which is why when you express yourself in a way that makes them uncomfortable, any of the queers in chat, they freak the fuck out because you guys are doing what they don't allow themselves. Whether they're queer or not, they don't allow themselves the type of expression you allow for yourselves, and it makes them uncomfortable. It's a projection thing.
And then more presents and more celebrations and more because we're trying to fill that emptiness within ourselves. The 6th expectation that we have that we feel obligated or that we should do around the holidays that creates our stress and overwhelm is that we need to be everyone's favorite daughter-in-law, favorite daughter, favorite sister, favorite mom.
Wow. Yeah, you got to go to therapy. This is I don't think about that at all. Holy shit. I don't care. Rank me wherever. I don't give a shit. I feel like I'm all right. I'm a good time. You're going to have good food while you're here and probably have a good time. I don't mind. I don't give a shit. You should not put that on yourself either. That's crazy stuff. That is some wacky stuff right there. Who made you think that way? Man, I want to talk to someone like this. This is the kind of person... Look, this video could be so much shorter. She just came out and shouted, I'm not like other girls, so please someone choose me. It's even less than that. No, I don't think she's doing pick me. I think she just really is. I think she's using this as a journal to try to get out her thoughts. And while she is a proponent for right-wing living situations, she's a victim of it. Again. She's clearly a victim of the system that she tries to uphold. And it doesn't make her happy at all. She fucking hates this. She dreads the holidays. I don't dread the holidays, and I have right-wing family members.
I have to talk about this as a woman.
You better, as a woman, right now.
Okay. I am a Southern woman
Do
who
it.
comes from a family of women who fucking love holiday planning, okay? And I understand the sort of culture she's coming from, where she's like, wow, us women are really expected to do so much around this time of year. We put all these expectations on ourselves because, like, there's a standard set by the culture. But what she's not understanding is that the issues she's experiencing is the gender roles of, like, the stupid 1950s, like, women are in charge of everything shit. But she's upset at feminism, which is saying everyone should take a little more fucking ownership around the household, which would ease stress from the... I don't understand. It's fucking crazy. And I know I've seen women in my fucking family work themselves to death to just make sure the kids have a good time. Because a lot of what this stress comes from is with people with kids that want to make sure that they have, like, a great childhood growing up. I get it, but, like, yeah, the men don't fucking do shit. The men don't do shit. I think it's fine to celebrate the holidays, and men need to actually just have a little whimsy in their lives for once. That's the problem. It's stupid gender roles.
Favorite friend, favorite mom on the PTA. And that pushes us into overdrive doing all these things to try to get people to like us. And we put this pressure on ourselves that we need to be perfect and that the dinner needs to be perfect. And the
This is, I mean, that is a you thing for sure. The perfect
gathering needs to be perfect and the kids need to be perfect and everybody needs to be on their best behavior. That we have to have it all together around the holidays when the truth is many times we do not. And then the seventh expectation that kind of fits into number 6 is that we have to be on. We have to be on our game. That we need the right outfit, the right attitude, say the right things. And then as women, we put this expectation onto our husbands, onto our kids. And it's like, don't say that thing you always say around my family. And good men are used to getting the evil eye or the kick under the table when they act out of line, out of the perception and facade that their wives want to project.
That their wives want to project? Fucking what? It sounds like you are just stuck in this really sad, like, tragic Shakespearean play of your own life where it's like, I must be the right woman at all times. And it's like, just be whoever the fuck you are, man. Like, this stuff right here, this looks fake as fuck, this joy stuff. Like you're trying to tell other people that you're happy instead of being it. Just be it. What would actually make you happy to put on that shelf? You know what I mean? Don't just get the word joy. Get something that gives you joy. If it's this thing, that's great. If you just love this fucking thing, cool. But do you? Because it looks it looks like something you put out because it's part of the set for your fucking Christmas stuff. It doesn't look like you like it. Man, I don't even know what to tell her.
To their families. And then the kids are
What's
supposed to
be done besides therapy
and be on their best behavior and not act out and don't let anyone see the issues and the problems that we have behind closed doors. We need to be on and be on our game. So those are the 7 expectations that I find most common that I've had in myself and have worked with women over, like I said, over almost the last decade.
I am a former unhappy wife who emasculated my husband until I had an awakening. That is her bio on there. Look, you got to figure out who you are. And if you're just if you're just a goofy little person, you don't have to have this perfect ass fucking Christmas or whatever. Just do a Christmas that you would enjoy. Be like, what is the most joy I could have on Christmas? And if the answer is nobody around and just relaxing, fucking do it one year. Just do it. If you want to sleep through Christmas. Who gives a shit? If you want to fucking have people over on Thanksgiving tomorrow, do it, man. I'm having them over. I like it. But I like it because we just do it our way. Just do it. Order Chinese food? Fuck yeah. Sounds great. Right-wingers have this problem because they try to fill those gender roles. They try really hard to fit a fucking role. And they don't. They often fail, right? And it makes them unhappy because it's not a really tenable life situation for most people. And it's like, you don't have to be this way. You're doing it to yourself. It's crazy, wacky stuff.